Welcome to this channel. I'm Kouki K. To my fellow workaholics, welcome. Welcome to this video. Yes, I am myself. I would consider myself as a workaholic. And that's why today I have some messages for you. And the reason that I want to share this topic of workaholic and this particular message to you, to us, would be we are doing enough. You are doing enough, okay? Have you ever thought of, ever wondered why you are a workaholic? Like, why do you work so hard? Why do you chase success? Why do you try to be better and better? Keep pushing yourself to your limits. Keep becoming the versions of yourself that you might not even know yet, but you just feel like you have to keep going. Okay. No one actually is trying to hurry you, but you are hurrying yourself. No one actually asks you to be perfect, but you want to be perfect. And you know that you are not, but you just want to be perfect. Have you ever wondered why you have such mindset or behaviors as, because of your mindset would then manifest into our behaviors, right? Well, here's what I realized within myself when it comes to being a workaholic, and that is very liberating for me. And that allows me to slow down, not to force myself because I have to slow down, but because it comes from an understanding of what happened to me, causing me to become a workaholic, so to speak. And that changes my perception on myself and thus my behaviors. That would be my actions, right? So now we're gonna break this video into five parts. The first one would be what is a workaholic, right? Like, kind of just define it first, so then we have a better understanding of what it is to feel like being a workaholic, or the things that one would do, the kind of mindset one would have, the kind of self-judgments one would hear for oneself, or how one would feel about how other people would see us, right? So this would be the conditions when it comes to workaholic, the idea of it. What is alcohol? What is not alcoholic? What is a workaholic? And the second part, then we would dive into the potential causes. Like, what are the causes of turning a person into a workaholic? Because everything is based on cause and effect, right? It's very logical. And so for us, all of our behaviors, not even just being workaholic, even alcoholic, these all have fundamental underlying causes. So then we would then have to trace back to childhood, okay? Because that's where our entire programming is formed. The basis of our entire psyche and how we see ourselves, the self-image part, would be formed through childhood. And so that's the deep dive. Okay, the potential causes. And through the potential causes, we would then go into the third part, which would be the belief system. What are the beliefs due to the potential causes form into such beliefs that we are unconscious of, but they are so ingrained in our belief systems? And that would such beliefs would then cause us to behave in such ways of relating to being a workaholic. And so that beliefs, that's the third part, right? And then we will go into the core issues. So fourth part, because of such beliefs, we would then have our core values shaped because of the beliefs. And these core values, so to speak, is actually core issues, such as low self-worth. These are core issues, would then be brought to surface. And so in the fifth part would be the affirmative reprogramming for oneself. That means the treatment. Okay, so what we are actually going through in this entire video is but I'm not going to mention it. It's just I'm going to briefly, I'm not going to talk deep dive into it, but I'm going to mention it here only in this part, which is basically we're doing three things: recognition, understanding, and taking actions. Okay, so recognizing, it means like naming the condition, workaholic, and naming the belief. What is the underlying belief that we hold would cause us to behave in a workaholic manner? That's naming. So when we for our psyche, human psyche, when we name anything, it's exposed, and so then we can work on it. Okay, so in medical situation, it would be diagnosis. You diagnose it, right? You diagnose it. And so the second part would be to understand it. You have to analyze. So that would be analysis. Analysis, understanding the potential causes, the belief system, the core issues. So that we have a very well-rounded understanding of it. And so the third part would then be taking actions, meaning treatment. Treatment is then would be in the fifth part of this video, which is affirmative reprogramming. Okay, so it's to reshape what we think about ourselves, and then we take actions aligned to this new way of understanding of oneself. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do in this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Right, so let's get started into the first part. The first part is the condition, like what is workaholic? So now what we're doing is recognizing. We're recognizing the pattern. Being a workaholic, now I'm speaking from personal experience, being a workaholic, it feels like you know, there's one thing that I would say, not sure about if you do feel it as well, but if you do, comment below or share your own experience. Is that like when it's time for rest, like going to bedtime, you feel like as if you still have something to do. Like you feel like it's not done yet. The day is not done yet. It's like, oh, I feel like I still need to do something, but I don't know what I need to do. Because technically you really don't have anything to do, but you just feel like you have something to do. Okay? So that would cause oneself to not having very rejuvenating sleep. Okay, because of not feeling secure enough to actually rest. Because we would feel, no, I still have something to do, but I don't know what it is. It's a feeling. It's not that you actually have something to do. Okay, that's one thing that I would recognize. The second thing would be, it's always you're chasing something, and you don't actually know what you're chasing. It's at one point what happened to me was I came to realize that, wait a second, I'm actually self-sufficient. Like, in what sense? I actually have a stable income that I can cover my own expenses, and I actually have water, I have a stable shelter, I have food, nutritious food and clean water. I have, I'm in a safe place, so and so. And that's when I realized that, yes, I don't earn as much as another person or as my friend or as what the society would usually expect such a person at this age, they should be able to earn this much, something like this. or with such an education. But in a sense, I realized that it's not about the numbers. It's not about how much I make. It's not about my income, the amount of my income. It's actually about, am I self-sufficient? Because as long as I'm self-sufficient, I'm good. Like, that's good. Like, check yourself, self-check. Are you actually already self-sufficient? If you already are, you're good. You're doing really good. Okay, like most of the time for the workaholics, you're actually doing good, but you're just not acknowledging it. And here's the reason why. We're going to look into it, okay? In the following parts. Now that's the second thing, which would be not being able to recognize oneself actually good enough. Second sign is that you keep chasing. Some people would chase for success, some people chase for fame, some people chase for just simple recognition, right? There are many different kinds of chasing, but fundamentally chasing. Second sign, chasing. You're always chasing something, on the goal for something. It could be chasing a person, it could be chasing okay? Like, or chase, but when it comes to workaholic, it's more of status or getting work done, getting more projects done, or having more clients, such and such. But it's giving you stress. Third sign, okay? It's giving you stress. And most of the time you are not even aware of it. It's like you feel stressed, but you don't actually feel stressed. Your body is telling you that you are stressed, but you don't feel stressed. And it's until to the point of burnout, you would then know, oh my God, I have been stressed, really stressed. Okay? So it's like the system has been telling us that, hey, you're actually working, you're overloading yourself. But our psyche thinks that, no, this is normal. You see that trick here? It's like our system is telling us that the body is reflecting to us that you're actually overloading yourself. But our psyche, why, right? Why would we think it that? Because that's in the potential causes. Okay, the second part. Our psyche tells us that, no, I'm not doing enough. I have to keep doing it. So we ignore the signals from our body, even if we actually already feel stressed. What are certain signs we feel stressed? Our body telling us anger, irritation. If you feel irritated just by little things or when you interact with other people, that anger, major sign, irritation. Also, if you feel a lot of muscle tension in the back of your neck, in your hips, majorly in your hips, in your chest, and also the back here, okay, like this side, the wings, okay, the wings, like that's how you feel you're actually stressed, but you're just not paying attention to it, and most of the time it's ignoring it, or say you're not even aware, because your psyche has been trained to thinking that, oh, I'm not doing enough. Okay, so I would say these are the three major signs of what a workaholic is like. Okay, so if you hit any of the signs, I would say, yeah, hi, fellow workaholic. Okay, now let's go in the second part of the potential causes. For the potential causes, I'm just gonna say the three. It's three major potential causes that I'm gonna bring up, and let me know if it hits you. Okay. Now, for the first one is actually why, because I brought up the question of why would you think that your body is already telling you that when you are stressed, these are all the signals, right? The tension, or maybe you have sleepless nights, or maybe you have insomnia or very horrible poor quality sleep, right? These are all signs as well. So from the body, But why would we still ignore it? And this would be because of the potential causes. The first one is lack of positive affirmations in upbringing. So during childhood, lack of positive affirmations in our upbringings. So this is basically how our parents potentially, most likely, treat us, because when the parents don't give positive affirmations to the kids don't know if they are doing right and being encouraged in a positive way. This is how the psyche is being trained and programmed over time. And so when we're exposed to such interaction in a long period of time, we would then think that we don't know. You see, it's the feedback system. Whatever other people tell us about ourselves, our behaviors, oh, you're doing good. No, you are horrible. Oh, you're really bad at this. You see, these are all feedbacks to our brain of learning, right? This is learning. Even if it's negative comments, we are also learning. We are taking in all these negative comments. So if there is no positive affirmations, meaning, I'm going to give an example. What would be a negative affirmations and a positive affirmations? What are the differences? Let's give an example. If it's a negative affirmation, say if it's a child, the child draws a picture, draws a drawing, okay, a drawing, and he shows to his mom. Okay, now the mom then gives a negative affirmation. Okay, so what would the mom say? The mom would say, oh, you didn't do your homework, but instead you draw. Okay, now the child puts a lot of effort into the drawing. And yes, indeed, the child might actually should do his homework. But he chose to do the drawing, okay? He had fun. Now, this is already a negative affirmation. Because the mom is actually judging the child of not doing homework but playing. This would then cause people to have a sense that playing is bad. Playing is not good. I should work. You see that forms into the mindset of a workaholic is that playing is not good. Don't play. If your mom judges you that don't play, work, and she blames you for it, that's a negative affirmation, right? Negative. Why did you draw and not go do your homework, right? Okay, you see the trace of it now. This is the first, just one example. This would be a trace of forming a future workaholic of this child, okay? Now, if it's a positive affirmation, what would it be? The mom, again, same scenario. The mom would say, wow, this is a really wonderful, beautiful drawing. I really love it. Thank you for showing me. Showing me your picture, your drawing. I love it. Oh, have you finished your homework yet? You see, that is the positive affirmation, is that you acknowledge this child's drawing. You acknowledge it while leading the child back to understanding that, reminding the child that, hey, you still have some homework to do. You want to do it now? The child would actually feel so much better because now the child is being affirmed that positively, that, oh yes, I did good on this. Because the child might have, the child really needs playtime to feel, to de-stress, right? Because the child might have a lot of homework. So he needs to de-stress through the creativity. But when the mom uses negative affirmation, that actually would shut down the child's natural instinct of de-stress. which is through creativity and playtime. And so over time, this child would then think, the psyche, because this would be a long-term thing, right? The mom would keep reinforcing in such a way, which would be through negative affirmations. That's why it's in the upbringing of the kid, of all of us. And so then the child would then realize that, oh, I should not play, I should just work. That forms into a workaholic mindset. Okay, that's the first potential cause. Second potential cause would be perform to chase recognition from parents. I'm going to repeat again. Perform to chase recognition from parents. This would be the second potential cause. A lot of the times when parents don't give feedbacks or simply just recognitions, not even feedback now. Feedback was in the first one, right? Recognition. Recognition means that they don't recognize your efforts, your work, your values. When parents, our own parents, don't show such recognition in us, to us, or for us, we would then develop this kind of performance mindset. Okay, meaning I have to keep being better. I have to keep performing to chase for their recognition. But the fact is, you would never get it. You would never get the recognition from your parents since day one. Because the thing here is, it's not that they are bad, not that the parents are bad. It's just that the parents are unable to recognize their own success as well. So they would not be able to recognize other people's. It's about insecurity. So that would be for them, their own lessons. So we don't have to take up their lessons. Just understand that it's their journeys, and it's none of our business. Our own duties is to treat our own issues. Okay, and so no, that's why no need to blame. It's just to understand it. Now we're in the understanding part, right? Because we already recognized it. Now we're in the understanding. So, which would also mean analysis. We're analyzing it. So the perform to chase recognition from parents would be when we try so hard to be better, to show our grades, better grades, to work up to the standard, but the standard is actually not there. The standard is actually very blurry, and it can shift according to the mood of the parents. Okay, so the children, the kids would try to perform to chase for the recognition from parents, but they would never get it. What does it mean? You would keep chasing. You would keep chasing. You see, you chase now that when you grow up, you would chase success, you would chase for money, you would chase for status, you would chase for da. You keep chasing. You keep chasing. Keep chasing. Chase to what? To perform. You chase to perform because you want to seek for recognition, now not from parents anymore, from other people. Horrible. Like crazy, right? Crazy as it is. The psyche, that's the second potential cause. Okay? Now the third potential cause is long-term exposure to blaming, gaslighting, and depreciating comments from others. Let me repeat. Long-term exposure to blaming, gaslighting, and depreciating comments from others, from other people. So basically, if a person is being exposed to an environment or group of people, so it could be family or friends, or in a school setting. It could also be bullying, right? The experience of being bullied. So what does it mean? It would involve blaming to you, and then gaslighting from others to you, and also depreciating comments. So devaluation, devaluing you. So if an individual has long-term exposure to such conditions, circumstances, what would be the result? You would have low self-worth. right? You will feel like you're not enough. You're not enough, right? And with all these combined together, the potential causes combined together, you feel that you are not enough. And only by doing, by performing, you feel that I could then be enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have a very low self-worth, but at the same time, you keep chasing for recognition, and you are trying to do better, to perform, just to prove to other people that I can actually be perfect to you. You keep then chasing, you keep performing, you keep performing just to seek for recognition from other people. And that's not gonna end. That's never ever gonna end. You understand that now? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's never ever gonna end because you're trying to chase for recognition from other people, but the root cause is you are enough. You are enough, first of all, and you are doing enough. The underlying cause here, the underlying root cause here, is that because of the childhood experiences with your parents or with your friends, you thought you are not good enough ever. And then you start to chase, you start to perform just to gain their recognition. And when you grow up, not these people anymore, when you go into a workplace, you chase for recognition from your boss. And then when you go into the public, you chase for recognition from your maybe subscribers, okay, or your followers on social media. Because of the lack of positive affirmations in upbringing, okay, don't play, work. And because you perform to chase recognition from parents, so you keep chasing. You just keep performing and keep chasing. And that you could even put on masks to just perform for recognition. And you don't even like it, but you just do it because you feel familiar with it. But it doesn't mean that it's actually healthy for you. Since day one, no, it's not healthy. Even to your parents, seeking for recognition from your parents, no, that's not healthy. Okay, that's not healthy for us, any of us. Third, long-term exposure to blaming, gaslighting, depreciating comments from other people cause low self-worth, but you feel like you have to perform. So to be perfect. Because you keep, this is like you're trying to go against it. You're trying to go against it, and that usually will also turn into self-blame. For some people, even if you appear to be in a good place, but you have a huge amount of self-blame when it comes to yourself, you and yourself. What is this going on? Is the programming playing back from childhood, that the mom would accuse the child of not doing his homework but did a drawing. This, you see, that's the voice. That is the voice is in your head now. That the self-blaming voice that, oh, I should not play now, I should go to work. That's exactly what your mom told you. That's exactly what the mom told the kid. Why did you do the drawing and not do the homework? That's exactly what you would hear to yourself now. Oh, I shouldn't go to this dinner now because I have to work on this. I should not go play with my friends. I should actually work on the taxes. I'm not saying discipline. No, discipline is necessary, but not when it comes to this kind of self-sabotaging mindsets that would actually stress one out, like stress you so much. Okay, so this is not healthy. Just recognize it and be more aware of it. Okay, so now we go into the third part of the belief system. This part is actually quite quick because based on what we just come to understand about the potential causes of workaholic mindset, we now understand, we can now converge the potential causes into beliefs. So the belief system is what we individually have, as in different. You have your own belief system and I have my own belief system. And in my belief system, I have different sets of beliefs. And for you, you would have a different set of beliefs as compared to mine, okay? And that's great, okay? That's the beauty of diversity. So now you have a belief when it comes to workaholic, and I also have belief when it comes to workaholic. But now here I'm going to share two, I would say, like, very common between me and you. If you happen to be a workaholic as well, or someone that you know, okay, that happens to be a workaholic, these two phrases, I would say beliefs, are very common for us, okay? Now, so for the first one, check if you actually resonate. First one is a belief. I am not doing enough. And when I actually said it, I'm not doing enough, I recognize it. Okay, that's the spot it. Because this belief, this exact belief, is so ingrained that it causes myself to keep performing, to keep chasing something, to keep doing. It's like it keeps running in the background, but it's only at one point I had to realize, wait, this is not right. What is going on? Like, why is it running in the background? What is running in the background? I have to, it's like I had to pay attention to what it actually is. Only then I could spot it out. It took me some time. And so I was like, wait, why is it that I'm keep having this chasing feeling and feel like I have to do something and I have to keep doing it, but actually I don't know what I need to do, but I still feel like I have to do. And that's exactly the belief that I just said. I am not doing enough. And that would cause me to actually have the feeling of actually I still have things to do, but actually I don't. Okay? This is the first belief. Now, these two beliefs are formed by the potential causes that we talk about in the part 2. The second belief is I need to be perfect to be loved. I need to be perfect to be loved. Again, from the potential causes, majorly from parents. Okay, it's like I need to be the way that my mom wants me to be, only then she would show appreciation to me. That would form into I need to be perfect in her version to be loved. Do you see how toxic this is? This is very toxic. This belief, this exact belief is very toxic. So these beliefs, these two beliefs are, now that we recognize it, we name it, it's being exposed. Okay, now it's being exposed means that we can then understand the core issues. Now that's the fourth part. These core issues are related to these two beliefs that I just mentioned. And what are the core issues here? I'm not doing enough. I need to be perfect to be loved. Leads into three major things, three major core issues. Low self-worth, perform to be loved, to gain love, and shame. Okay, let me repeat. Low self-worth, perform to be loved, to gain love, and shame. Okay. Now, these core issues is that when you feel like you're not good originally, that would come from gaslighting, from blaming, from depreciating comments, and also from when you just be yourself as a kid. When you're being yourself as a kid, your parents don't encourage you to do so, by giving you negative affirmations. You see that? So you would then slowly get distorted and grew away from your authentic self, our authentic self. This would turn into low self-worth because you do not know by then. After all this year, you don't know what your self-worth is. When you were being yourself, you were actually being yourself, you were a kid and you're very happy, but your parents negate it. It's a negation. What you as a kid received is a negation, is a negative result. So when I am being myself, I receive a negative feedback. That means I should not be myself. You see that? I should not play. I should only work. So that would actually turn into low self-worth because you don't actually know who you are. And it's the healing process is actually to regain, to reestablish understanding who I actually am. Originally, uniquely, individually. Okay? And it's a process. It takes time. And so what I'm sharing here is I hope that this message, this analysis and this method, what I come to realize within myself, would actually help you to accelerate your own healing process by having such information, me sharing with you, okay? That's my intent. So now the second one is perform to gain love, right? You perform the core issues. We're talking about core issues is here. The performance that we all try our best to work is to chase recognition. You're trying to chase recognition from people. First from parents, right? And then now from people. Why? What are we chasing? What's the recognition for? Love. We want to be loved. Our parents, it's like, you see, our parents show love to us. That's conditional. It's conditional love because it's only when we do something that align to what they expect us to be would then show us their appreciation. We would only feel appreciated when we follow what they want, what they expect us to be. So what does it mean? First of all, and again, you're further away from your authentic self. Because when you try to be yourself, your mom says, no, you need to do it my way. So that becomes her way, her expectation. Now you're further derailed from your authentic self. Okay, now, so then you follow her expectation. What does it mean? You're chasing recognition from her or from your father even, right? And so then over time, you would then start to perform for her, for them, so to gain love from the parents. And when you grow up, you would then not gain love. You would not try to perform to gain love from the parents anymore. You would usually what would happen is that you would grow out of the family. You would not want to spend much more time with them if it's really hard to be with them. Okay, but there are many different cases. But overall, is that you would then start to perform in the workplace or basically in society, just to chase for recognition. But fundamentally speaking, what are you chasing? Love. You want to feel loved. You want to feel appreciated. That you have never gained from childhood by being yourself. But even, here's the thing, it's important to recognize this. Even when you're performing now, are you actually being yourself? No, you're performing. You keep performing. You're performing to gain recognition, just as how you were taught and trained when you were a kid. So that is why so many people would feel like they would like living a double life, like on one side, on the public, as a public image, they are like this, but then at the back, no, they're absolutely not. So why would it happen? Because this side to the public is performance. That side, they're hurting, right? They're hurting. So this stems from childhood. And, we got to self-check. Am I actually the same when I am in front of people and also the same when I'm like not in front of people? As in like, do I feel equally calm and peaceful? Something like this. All right. So am I performing? It's like, am I performing in front of people, or am I also performing when I'm alone? Because if my behaviors are actually quite the same, then I'm not performing in front of people. That's a good checking point here. If my behaviors are actually the same when I'm alone and also with other people, that's basically I'm not performing in front of other people. Right? That means that means I'm authentically myself. Like when I'm off camera, I'm also like this, and when I'm in front of the camera, I'm also like this. That means I'm not performing. All right, there's a good check, like just an example, okay? Now, third core issues would be shame. Shame comes from the long-term exposure, to receiving external blaming, gaslighting, and depreciating comments. And also, this is only just one thing, because this is like really direct. This is not even subtle. Direct exposure of blaming. So it could be your parents blaming you, or even your friends, your siblings, whatever it is. It causes you to have a low self-worth and thus shame. Okay, and what would usually turn into when you grow up is self-blame. Self-blame is a form of shame. You feel shameful internally, and so you would then become the one who actually blame and gaslight and depreciate oneself. Just as how you used to be treated this way by other people, and you have normalized it. And because it comes from the core issue of shame. And so when you recognize this and you realize that I'm not that, I'm none of this, we can all just see this as programmings in the brain, in the psyche. Okay? And so that's why now we go into the fifth part, the affirmative reprogramming. Okay, so this is the treatment part, and that would be involving taking this kind of affirmative phrases, saying to oneself, to reaffirm oneself, to reprogram oneself that I'm actually enough, but I would read it out. Alongside with this kind of affirmative phrases, saying to oneself, so self-affirmations basically, we also need to take actions, actual actions, physical actions to align to this understanding that we now embody. Okay, so for example, if you are actually working every single day, really busy schedule, take some time to look at your schedule and actually craft it takes time, it takes trial and error to build a system that actually fits you. And you can keep adjusting it, keep refining it to the point that you feel comfortable with this pace of life, this rhythm of work, this spacing that you give yourself to breathe. I'm also working on it. That's why I'm just suggesting that this is a very good way of practice, taking action, to adjust the schedule every week, to reflect on this week. Okay, am I actually putting too much work on myself? Can I actually give more spacing even? Because the more that we are aware, the more that we take action to align to this, the more that we understand, I actually don't have to do this much. And I'm good. So it's necessary to do all three parts: recognize, understand, and take actions. Take actions. If you only have the understanding and not taking actions to align to it, it's not gonna change. Okay, it's the same as if you have understood the entire programmings of in a computer, but you're not changing the programmings. So you basically you've just done the analysis part. You're not taking actions to introduce new programmings to change it. So what does it mean? If you don't introduce new programmings to change it, which is the action, right? The computer would just have the same output because the entire programming is still the same. Yes, you have understood the programmings now. We've gone through it, but you have to take actual actions to type in new programmings, codings, to have the output come out differently. Okay, so we're inputting new things now. And the input involves self-affirmation and also actions, physical actions. Okay, you have to introduce new inputs now, so to have new outputs. All right, makes sense? Okay, so the two affirmative reprogramming, two phrases only, they are actually associated to the two beliefs in part 3 that I mentioned. Let me just do a little quick recap for the beliefs. Okay, now the first belief that we talked about is that I am not doing enough. I am not doing enough. Okay, now the second belief is I need to be perfect to be loved. I need to be perfect to be loved. Right, okay. So now the associating affirmative reprogramming for these two beliefs would be as the following. The first one, for the I am not doing enough, okay? I am enough and I don't need to perform only to be loved and appreciated. I am loved and appreciated for who I am. I'm going to repeat again. You can say it with me, okay? You can also feel when after you say it, speak it out loud, you would possibly feel your body soften up, relax. Try it, okay? Try it yourself. I am enough and I don't need to perform only to be loved and appreciated. I am loved and appreciated for who I am. Okay. Now the second belief was I need to be perfect to be loved. I need to be perfect to be loved. Right? Now the affirmative reprogramming for this one is I am not perfect. I fully acknowledge my flaws and I accept them by honoring myself as I am. I am not perfect. I fully acknowledge my flaws and I accept them by honoring myself as I am. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you gain certain insights from it. And yeah, I would love to hear your I would love to see your comments, your experiences even in the comment section below. And so I thank you for your time, patience, and support, and also your love. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.